Wandered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore. While I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitors," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. "Only this and nothing more." Hey everybody, and welcome back. My name is Sue and I am from OML Embroidery, and today we are going to continue working on this Anita Goodesign in the hoop with lots of applique and really good project that we're working on. So the first steps, of course, is always outline for the batting, and then the next step it's going to double stitch it down to hold everything tight, and then all you have to do is trim out that square. Look at me, super speed cutting. It's a little awkward, so I just take it off there. Now, the first applique that we're going to do is the sky. And for this one, if you guys have seen the other videos, I'm using this, ready? Gorgeous blue turquoise, and I love this fabric. It really makes everything stand out. So once you put the applique fabric down, make sure you leave a seam allowance on the side. You can use a little bit of spray if you want, but it's going to, again, stitch it down, and it's going to stitch it twice to make sure it's whole. Now make sure that you, when you place your fabric down, the applique fabric, that you put it down so it covers everything. Then, of course, carefully trim it out. The next thing that's going to stitch out is the quilting on it, which looks great. Now, I decided on this one to do a matching color, thread color, to make this look good. I like it. You could use a contrasting one or whatever you want, but I went for matching and I really like it. So the next step is some of the cool Halloween background colors in black. So not colors, designs, sorry, in black. So trees and spider detail, I think, gets stitched out now. All sorts of detail in the background that make these quilt blocks look amazing. So yeah, it was a spider. So the next step is the bottom part. Now I chose kind of a light gray fabric, and I think it looks pretty good. Once that's done, you trim out the middle. Remember to leave the outside. Make sure you leave your seam allowance. And it's going to tack it down, of course, so everything stays where it belongs. Awesome, thank you. The next step is going to be satin stitches that cover up any connections between the top and bottom applique fabric. And here's where I thought I would bring in that groovy green, and I think it's going to look great. This one has a little problem, though. This is the next one. Where that arrow's pointing to, I slightly missed the fabric. It doesn't look too bad here. You could see it kind of a little bit. I kept going because I figured, you know what? It'll be okay. It will be okay. The next step is to stitch out the details on the pumpkin. And here we're going to learn a little bit about push and pull and stitching, because it looks pretty good right here, right? Watch and wait until it stitches out a little bit more, because I think I could have gotten away with that and it doesn't look bad. I mean, you can hardly see it. But yeah, when it starts stitching on that pumpkin, now look at it. Now look at the space, nice and close up right there. Look how far it pulled the fabric back. Wow. But I'm still going to go with it. I can still work with it, but just to keep that in mind, it would have been better to me to start that part over again. You can just unpick the stitches very carefully, but yeah, there's a little gap there. So I keep hoping that some of the detail work will cover it up, and I'm thinking, all right, maybe the outline, the thick satin outline stitch of the applique is going to cover it up, and I'm kind of hoping, and I'm thinking maybe no. All right, so we still have a gap. I thought it would go more towards the inside. So we still have a little gap, but I'm not that worried about it, in the big picture of things. I don't think people are really going to notice a little boo-boo like that. See, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, I'm okay with it. I prefer perfection, and if I had gone back and trimmed it out, I'd probably like it. But really, like I said, I'm my worst critic, and I don't think anyone's going to notice it. So it's not worth trashing the whole thing. It just makes it look like it's, you made it instead of buying it. Who cares? Just a little boo-boo. If half the pumpkin was gone, that would be a little bit of a different story. But, whatever. I could also take an orange Sharpie and maybe cover it over a bit if I wanted to. I'm not really worried about it. So pumpkin faces, of course, our jack-o'-lanterns have to have awesome faces. I decided to do them in black. You could have done them like in orange, or if you had a variegated orange and red and yellow, like a fire thread, that would be great. So yeah, I made a boo-boo, and this is the third time I'm hoping that it'll get covered up, and I'm thinking the eyes are going to do it. Yeah, no. I tried. I mean, I had 3 chances, and they were all wrong. But it looks, you can see it even less with the eye on there. But I was hoping. But you know what? A little boo-boo isn't the end of the world. So on top of that green that I did, I'm doing a lighter green, and look how great it looks. The next applique is the witch's hat, and I picked some bright fabric that ties all the colors in. If you notice, there's a turquoise, there's a yellow, there's the green, there's red. I don't have too much in the way of red yet, but it still kind of goes with it. I just thought it was fantastic. So it's going to stitch the applique fabric down, and how I changed the colors is it stitched it down in purple, and then it went to right away to do the band on the hat, and then switched to yellow. And then I can cut it out. Normally we do it in a different order, but I just put it in there. Isn't that cute? Look at that hat. To me, the hat is almost the focal point of the whole design, and I love it. So polka dot hat, awesome. Bats in the background, awesome. Now we're going to do our little ghosties, and I kind of fiddled around with fabric and tried a few things that, what I came up with, I think looks really good. A piece of organza. Now, the organza isn't white, and this is just a scrap piece. It's kind of like a yellowy, kind of groovy thing. And I left it wrinkled like that because I wanted to give the ghosties a little bit of depth. And of course, when you're holding fabric down like I was, be very, very careful that you don't stitch your hand. But look, isn't that cute? So you can see the background through it. I think I did 4 layers of it, but you could do less layers, and I think it would look amazing. How about gray or white to match the outside? I thought the yellowy kind of color, and it's nice and shiny, I thought that would look good. So I came up with that right at the machine. I had everything set out, and when I, put the applique fabric down, I was like, no, this isn't quite what I want. So, on the fly, I came up with scrap pieces. Your scrap box is, super handy. I just dug through it and came up with it, and I'm like, yes. By the way, I'm using my Entrepreneur Pro 1000E 10 needle machine. I'm not using my dream machine today. I just thought I'd change it up a little bit. But what do you think of this block? Isn't it cute? I am so happy with how this is coming together. We are making an amazing Anita Goodesign project. We have one more block to do, and we will get stitching that, and then we are going to put everything together. Oh, the last detail are the stars in the sky, and that's one of the reasons why I picked blue for the background, because I thought it looked like a bright blue summer sky. Not that in Canada we have a warm Halloween ever, but that's what I thought. Just some warmth and some bright colors. And I love all the detail. And look, you can see my boo-boo, but it's really not that bad. I'm gonna leave it. I'm just gonna roll with it. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.